It still doesn't feel quite real, does it, Broncos country? Welcome into this episode of the Broncos Breakdown by Chad Sports. My name is Moose. I'm not going to lie to you. I woke up this morning and I still had no idea how the Denver Broncos were able to win 33-32, scoring 33 points in the fourth quarter. I mean, I know how they did it. I called the game. You guys were there with me. You watched every single play that I did. But I still don't quite know how they pulled it off. All I know is they did. And something up there was working in our favor. Maybe it was this guy. Maybe it was Demaryius Thomas. Maybe it was his Ring of Fame game. We'll talk about him later on in today's episode. Here's what I do know. The Denver Broncos became the very first team since 1970 to overcome an 18-plus point deficit with 6 minutes remaining in the game and win. But they didn't win in overtime. They just won it outright. Unbelievable comeback. Bo Nix was mostly bad through the first three quarters, and then again in the fourth quarter turned into Peyton Manning, John Elway, Tom Brady. I mean, you name it. You name the quarterback, the clutch quarterback, he became that guy. 16-25, 165 yards, 4 total touchdowns, and a passer rating of 109.5. And I know that throughout the entirety of the stream, I might have been a little negative. I'm sure you were too. You were watching the same game I was. The first three quarters were abysmal football to watch. And then something special happened in the fourth quarter. Something that I can't really explain. But I did take to Twitter, and you all got me in the exact same feeling. We did it. Let's go. Shout out to you, Jared. And I'm going to get to some other people here on today's show in just a little bit. But my God, was that still the most unbelievable, improbable, impractical comeback I have ever seen. And yet, it felt like the fourth quarter, the Broncos were in firm command of the game down the stretch. It was unlike anything I've ever quite seen. It truly was a miracle at Mile High. And if you believe in miracles and you're happy the Denver Broncos can boast that they won that football game, do me a favor. Hit that thumbs up icon and hit that subscribe button. Both are free, and they show that you love this team and you support them every step of the way. I mean, just say it out loud for me. The Broncos scored 33 points in the fourth quarter to beat the New York Giants. NFL teams should not be allowed to score 30. Think about this. An entire game, 33 points is considered a lot. 33 points in one quarter is outlandish. It literally sounds impossible to do. But I think that is a testament to the testicular fortitude, the balls, the faith, the confidence, the poise, the temperament of our quarterback, Bo Nix. Because, truthfully, although it was a team win, the fourth quarter comeback kind of rests squarely on Bo's shoulders. He is now the first player in NFL history to have 2 passing touchdowns and 2 rushing touchdowns in the fourth quarter, which sounds crazy because, like, out of the history of the NFL, nobody's done that before. Nope. He's the very first one to do it. He's making NFL history. Now, I'm sure there's going to be a couple of disgruntled Broncos fans, and I don't want to hear from you other than it was an amazing win, because we're not going to focus too much on the negatives today. Here's what I will say, though. I was hard on Bo Nix through the first 3 quarters of the game because he was terrible. So was Sean Payton's play calling. So were the drops. So was the offensive line. Everything was bad through the first 3 quarters, and then it wasn't. And then it was great. Then it was legendary. I mean, just take a look at the side-by-side breakdown from Bo's quarters 1 through 3 to the fourth quarter. This is icy Bo. This is ice in his motherfucking veins. 44% completion percentage, jumps 20% in the fourth. 165 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 46 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, and a passer rating that nearly doubled. That's testicular fortitude. That's balls, man. To be down by that much, you're getting booed going into halftime. Multiple tweets saying Empower Field at Mile High is booing the Denver Broncos going into the half. And they should have. It was horrendous to watch. It wasn't even a good television product. It was hysterically bad. You had Giants fans. Marshall Green, our Giants host, was trolling the Denver Broncos defense. He had people leaving early. And then, of course, Bo comes back, drives it down, and says this at the very end of the game. I felt bad for the people that left early. Kind of a subtle dig, but also I bet you he genuinely did, because they just missed one of the most insane games I have ever seen in my life. To just articulate how insane this win was, I want to bring up a stat that is going to sound like it is made up. The Broncos had a win probability that was as low as 0.7. That is less than a percent chance, with 6:38 left in the fourth quarter, to win that football game, down 28-6. You're down 18 points. Next Gen Stats also goes on to say that it is the most improbable comeback of the season and 8th most improbable comeback of the Next Gen Stats era since 2016. So in 9 years, that is the 8th most unlikely comeback we have ever seen. Take a look at the chart. The win probability dipped. Look at that. You have, the win percentage goes all the way up, right? So it'll hover around 50-50 in that middle part if the game is pretty much even. Look at the dip. Look at the spike that it goes from the Giants at 100% chance to win, and then the steady descent. Not even steady. It was a steep descent. It was a fall off. Now, you could look at this as a Giants fan and say we pissed away the game, and that's fine. I tend to look on the positive side of things for the Denver Broncos, and I like to say the Broncos won that game. Bo won that game. Sean Payton won that game. The Denver Broncos offense, the Denver Broncos defense made the plays necessary to win that game. And if you, Bo Leave, let's do it again. Spam your Bo Leaves in the comments section down below. I am reeling, and we're going to talk about coming up here in just a little bit about what it really meant. Not only for the Denver Broncos, but for this guy right here, my guy DT. We're going to talk about him coming up here in just a second. And listen, as shitty as the Denver Broncos were throughout that entire game, it compares nothing to what I'm talking about when I tell you about our friends over at Tushy. And don't get it twisted. I used to call Mahomes an a-hole, but it doesn't really have the same sting now that I use a bidet. Using a Tushy bidet now means you leave the bathroom cleaner than when you walked in. Let's get into it. Tushy is the everyday luxury bidet that instantly transforms your bathroom habits and bottom health for life. Every Tushy bidet easily attaches to your existing toilet without the need for additional plumbing. Instead of wiping endlessly with toilet paper, Tushy now pristinely removes 99% of bacteria while protecting your natural skin barrier thanks to one natural ingredient: fresh water. Every Hello Tushy bidet also comes with a 30-day hassle-free return and a 12-month warranty. Remember, a-hole is only a dirty word if you wipe. For a limited time, our listeners get 10% off their first bidet order when you use code CHAT at checkout. That's a 10% off your first bidet order at hellotushy.com with promo code CHAT. I will have all of that ready for you in the comments and description of today's video. Thank you to our friends over at Tushy. First things first, Sean, you got to stop doing this to me, man. My blood pressure can only spike so much. My heart rate can only go up and down so much. I can only get 3 hours of sleep so many nights. I went to bed last night, and I'm not going to lie to you. I was so amped up driving home. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm sitting there white-knuckling it, but I am wide awake. Sean, can we just get like a flatline win? Can we start the game and end the game well? Do we have to go through the peaks and valleys every single week? I give you credit, man. To keep your team in that, the mentality, the fortitude, the temperance, everything that you just played in the fourth quarter, I'm on board with, but you got to stop doing this to me. But with that being said, the fourth quarter offense is by far the best part about this offense. It's not even close. For whatever reason, the first three quarters, you just don't play well. I mean, I'm not going to even lie to you. You guys know this too. The first three quarters, the first half offense, I mean, it's just bad. It's really bad. And then something happens in the fourth, not only to Sean Payton's offense, but to Bo mother-freaking Nix. I mean, here's his stats in the fourth quarter for you in 2025. What? This is just 2025's fourth quarter. So he's played 7 fourth quarters. He's thrown for 494 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick, and a passer rating of 104 with a completion percentage of almost 70%. That is insane. But I would much rather my QB1 play that well down the stretch of the fourth quarter than to play like that in the first and then dump it off and lose spectacularly. So if you're going to turn it on, thank God you turn it on when it matters. But let's talk about what this game really was. It was a statement win for this guy. And I don't want to get dramatic. I don't want to get hyperbolic when I say this, but I really do believe something else was working. It's a higher up. There was something else working in your favor. Did you know, and producer Dylan was the one that brought this up to me, so I got to give him full credit. The Broncos scored 33 points in the fourth quarter yesterday on Demaryius Thomas's Ring of Fame game. Do you know how old Demaryius Thomas was when he died? 33. Chills. By the way, I saw it pointed out in the last video. Guess who's on top of the AFC West now? Booyah. Give me the Broncos, 5-2. There's a lot of things we need to clean up. Chargers are now 4-3. The Chiefs are starting to pick it up, and the Raiders are, well, you can tell by their record, they're ass cheeks. So, take that what you will. But the Broncos currently today are atop the AFC West, pulled off the most improbable win I have ever seen. And there is still a lot to dissect from this game, no doubt. But the truth is, I'm not ready to do that yet. I'm going to let this simmer for a little bit because when I see this photo right here, my blood starts to get a little warm. I start to want to run through a brick wall. It's like I'm on Adderall 24/7. I mean, that is insane work. And that is why, to wrap out today's episode, you sub for Broncos Dubs. You hit that bell icon and you select the all option because you never, ever want to miss a moment of this team's 2025 season moving on. And it's not just the 2025 season, it's the off season, it's the draft. Everything about the Broncos I'm going to cover. We did it for DT.